Hello everyone, I'm Jed Shlackman. I work as a holistic counselor and energy healer. In this video I want to speak about the topic of healing and the most powerful healing technology in the world. What I'm referring to is not a man-made technology. It's really a spiritual technology. It's the intelligence, the creative force and awareness that create our body. So I'm talking really about the spiritual technology within our body, within our biofield, the energy field that surrounds and informs the physical body. If you stop and think about it, you recognize that our body is really healing and maintaining itself continuously from moment to moment. So there's this powerful intelligence that's at work. That intelligence is creating and maintaining your body. It's keeping it, relatively speaking, in a state of equilibrium and balance. So everything is functioning adequately to sustain and maintain life. That's a really tremendous kind of indescribable intelligence that's at work. It's something that no human technology, no human doctor can replicate. modern modern medicine can just provide some things to try to emulate the intelligence of our body and try to compensate for things that are apparently not functioning ideally. So they can create chemicals that emulate or replace a chemical in your body, but they can't replace the entire intelligence that's guiding your body to maintain itself. So that's really a major limitation that exists both with mainstream medicine and even with alternative medicine. Neither of those are actually providing the full intelligence and wisdom that is actually creating and maintaining your health. We can recognize also that when we are experiencing some state of illness or disease, there's more than one way to think about or interpret that. We can consider that it's actually showing or reflecting in what way we're out of balance, in what way we're being overwhelmed or overstressed by some situations or environments in our life. And we have that intelligence within us for self-healing, and much of the time that intelligence, that self-healing capacity, would bring us back into a state of balance and health. So if that's not occurring, we can ask some questions to explore why, and perhaps we can learn something. We can find out what we can do to support our self-healing capacity to work in cooperation with or in harmony with that spiritual intelligence, that energy and consciousness that are maintaining our health, rather than doing something that actually might work against it. Often people do something to treat symptoms of illness or disease, and what they're doing may temporarily cover or suppress those symptoms to make you feel better temporarily. However, it could actually be aggravating some underlying imbalance or underlying stress and leading to additional difficulties, to further dysfunction over time. So I would consider that if we're experiencing some state of illness or disease, and the body isn't recovering, which it's naturally designed to be able to do. If you cut your finger, your body normally heals that up, although there can be circumstances where there are complications where something is interfering with that healing process. So let's say that wound got contaminated with some toxins, some dirt got into the wound, some type of bacteria that are in some way compromising your body. Well, that could disrupt that healing process. And something similar could happen when we encounter other kinds of stresses or wounds. Something may be interfering with our ability to recover and repair ourselves, whether that's on a physical level or a psychological level. So we can explore what stresses might be present and perhaps ongoing that are interfering with the healing process. And we could also consider that different symptoms we experience may have some meaning or message. They're actually showing us where we're distressed, where we're out of balance in our life or in our consciousness. And until we confront that, until we face that and work on changing things, on restoring balance, the body might continue to reflect that. We're not healing, so to speak, because we need to experience that state as a reflection or indication of something until we receive that feedback and take, let's say, efficient or appropriate action based upon understanding that feedback. So the feedback may just continue until we're actually able to process it and constructively address what that is showing us. So you might go to many different doctors, either mainstream medicine or different forms of alternative medicine. They might prescribe or recommend a variety of remedies and treatments, and you might be trying many different things that actually may help other people overcome a condition they have, but in your case it's not successful for that. You're not recovering from whatever condition you've experienced, and the reason might be that there's some deeper purpose for that, something on a deeper level that you need to change, that you need to address within yourself or within how you're living your life. So just taking some medication or herbal remedy or getting some energy treatment or frequency healing treatment, that may not actually resolve it because it's actually coming from a deeper level. We're not just our physical body, we're actually also the field of consciousness and energy. We don't usually perceive that with our physical senses, but that field of consciousness and energy is resonating with every cell in your body. It's providing energy and information to every cell, and when there's a disruption in that field, it will be reflected in some way, eventually at least, on the cellular level on your physical body. So consider that, be aware of that. Don't try to fight your body's intelligence or that healing wisdom that exists within you. Respect it, appreciate it, know that it's actually always in some manner working for you. It's seeking to maintain health. It's seeking to foster physical survival. People consider different kinds of diseases sometimes as some type of punishment or curse or bad luck or bad genetics, something negative, something undesirable that's being inflicted upon them. if you carry that consciousness about it, then you're in this state of disharmony, a state of resistance to what is, to what has been manifested. If you shift your perspective and consider that everything has some cause, some purpose behind it, and that you can actually learn about what that cause is to address it and then foster healing, you have a better opportunity to foster that healing. We can use an example of something like having cancer. Some people feel it's a great misfortune to experience the illness of cancer. They feel it's unfair, unjust, etc. However, in your physical body, when the body is generating a cancer mass, in a sense it's the cells in your body using kind of this last-ditch survival mechanism when they're under an extreme amount of stress. That stress could be from an accumulation of toxins and pathogens, things like bacteria and fungus and parasites, heavy metal toxins and other chemicals building up in the body in those tissues, and also a loss of oxygen and nourishment and lack of energy flow getting into those cells. So those cells shift their metabolic pattern to be able to better survive in those harsh conditions. But that alternate pattern, that survival mechanism, creates a situation where the cells start to mass, like they kind of grow out of control. Normal tissues and normal cells will break down and clean out the excess or damaged cells that are there as new ones are created. So there's this balance and stability. But with cancer, we see what you would think of as an overgrowth. The cells are not dying out and breaking down and being replaced by new ones. They're actually just massing up and overgrowing with their altered state of metabolism. And that's continuing there as long as whatever stresses that triggered that situation remain present. So you could go to a surgeon and cut out that mass, but after a while, if you haven't addressed whatever stresses were originally present to create that kind of domino effect, then that will start to return. You'll have what they call a resurgence of cancer, where it might have been in remission and then it reoccurs. So a recurring case of cancer, in a sense, that's showing you that the original roots of that cancer were never addressed. You might have had a surgery, or you might have done some other treatment that appeared to clear out or remove the cancer cells, but the underlying condition that led to the body creating that happens to still be there, and that's why many people have their cancer return after some period of time. For those that are interested in holistic health, in healing on a mind, body, and spirit level, I invite you to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I want to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.